some people do, like women specifically. Well, why should I do testosterone test? I'm like, why wouldn't you want to know if your sex drive is healthy? Like, oh,
Right. I'll share my screen of a blood test, a complete blood test of what the basics should be, right? So that we can tell everything about it, right? This is a very important part. I don't care if you're a man or a female, it should always start with this type of stuff, right? So at the very beginning, we have the stuff that people will be familiar with, right? Your glucose, your BUN, your electrolytes, right? That's great because that starts to tell us about water networks. It starts to tell us about specifically the BUN, right? BUN stands for blood urea nitrogen. Nitrogen only comes from protein. When you have a lot of BUN in the blood, you're excreting a lot of misfolded proteins. That could be a couple reasons for that, right? Training hard and eating lots of protein will exaggerate that. That's why I need to know your environment, your personal inputs, right? And the other thing that it tells us is if you have like a normal lifestyle, right? You train somewhat normally or don't train at all and you're eating, somewhat normal amount of protein and this number is high, what it really tells us is you're chronically functioning in a dehydrated state because folding proteins requires proper hydration at the mitochondrial level, which is where proteins get folded. So if that's high, it tells us that your water networks, the mitochondrial water that's being produced in your body, which should be deuterium depleted, is not being produced at the high enough level to keep that in the right range. So immediately it tells me a lot about mitochondria. It tells me a lot about hydration.